So I honestly thought the live stream was all I was doing today, but apparently not, because I can't shut the hell up. I'm the librarian, and I came to read. I wanted to talk about cutting people off, and I meant to bring this up when we were having the conversation about it on Twitter, because there were a lot of people who brought this up. I don't know why we brought it up, but for some reason we were talking about it, and there was a good conversation that was happening. I meant to take this to the Adrian Army, I did, but I think it was because I addressed it in For the Culture podcast that I figured, okay. But for some reason I woke up today wanting to talk, so let's just fucking get into it. Now, there were two sides to the argument. There was one side that was saying, you know what, sis, if you feel like you need to cut people off, then do it. Guard your mental health, do what you have to do. There was another side saying that, well, you're childish if there's an issue that's coming up between you guys, whether it's a friendship or relationship. You're really fucking childish if you all of a sudden just one day just cut it off without any explanation. And I feel like both sides of those definitely do have their merits. Now me, where I stand, I definitely am quicker to cut someone off. And that's just gonna be me. And I feel like that definitely holds some pros and cons. For me, I can definitely live with that pro-con situation. I feel like there are other people who maybe they're fine with it. I don't know, but the thing is with me, a lot of times these things border on abuse, like emotional abuse. So I'll give you an example. There are a lot of people who they love to gaslight you. So what they'll do is they will emotionally abuse you, they will devalue you, they will make sure that you feel like a fucking ant in their presence, and then when you get fed up with it and you explain how they're making you feel, all of a sudden they have no idea. They just don't know what's going on. You know, I love you, I care about you. How could you think that? And then so you're caught up in their trap again, and you think that everything's gonna be fine because you guys talked the issue out, and then here this motherfucker is, whether, as I said, it's friendship or relationship or family, here this motherfucker is doing the same exact thing that you just said in a different way maybe. So now when you bring it up again, they'll say, well, I did it this way, I did this certain way, how could you think that I don't care about you? And then it's just a cycle. So I think, especially in those situations, you need to cut some of the holes off. I've had to do that. I've had to do it with family members, and y'all already know, forget it if you are Caribbean like my ass and black as fucking gay, girl. It's just only certain family members who will fuck with you after that point. You know what I mean? But it's just, for me, this is me. I cut myself off from people immediately sometimes. If I notice that they have some abusive ass attributes that will fucking fuck me up in the end. You know what I mean? I had no business being in this relationship or friendship in the first place. Honestly, half the time I be knowing. And then I'm seeing the red flags, girl, it's just time to cut it off. And I don't need none of you niggas or none of you family members or none of you people explaining yourselves back into my life. You know what I'm saying? And that is honestly after years and years of experience. And the other side of that, of course, is that if I'm not careful, I can be mad all the time, I can be bitter, I can allow my negative experiences with other people in the past to affect my relationships in the future, and that's kind of where I am right now. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not like writing people off from the bat, but at the same time trying to protect myself, trying to protect my mental health, and I think that's the line that we should all be walking. And the reason why I will cut myself off a lot of times is because I grew up in an environment where emotional abuse and like disassociating yourself from your own emotion, that shit happened. It seemed to happen all the goddamn time. So what I will end up doing is subconsciously like being drawn to people who have those characteristics. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, here I am trying to get away from those things, and I'm drawn back to those characteristics because a lot of times it's the only thing that I know. It's the only thing that I know. So most times when I'm cutting someone off, it's because I realize, oh shit, here I go again. And I've had to sit my ass down. I think I remember telling you guys this. I had to sit myself down and be like, girl, what is it about your experiences or your mind or what you have been grown accustomed to? What is it that allows you to be drawn to those types of people? So once I see those red flags, I'm like, girl, no man, cut it out, cut it off, I'm done. Because that shit can get dangerous really quickly. So for me, I tend to do that in order to avoid any further problems, especially if I discussed the issue with you before, because your repeated actions a lot of times will demonstrate to me what you feel about me. You know what I mean? It will tell me what you feel. And when I try to ignore that, and when I try to say, oh, well, girl, they don't mean it like that. It was just a one-time thing. Every time I try to pacify myself with those idiotic ass statements, when clearly you've shown me who you are, every time I try to do that, it only hurts me. It hurts me, it hurts my mental health. It possibly hurts my future relationships because of what I'll allow these motherfuckers to do to me. So I said, no, girl, I'm just gonna cut this shit off. I'm gonna cut it off. People call that immature, but I guess my thing is I will work with you if you want to work with me. If I see that, I'm not gonna cut your ass off for a mistake. Justin and I, as I said, we were talking about this on For the Culture podcast. Y'all need to go listen to it. Yeah, I try not to cut people off for a fucking honest ass mistake, but if you're repeatedly showing me that every time I bring something up, you don't care about how I feel, even if, and with me, I take words very seriously. So if someone says that they're gonna do something, I expect it to be done. Or if someone tells me something, I hold them to that standard. I'm like, okay, girl, this is your truth. So when your words start mismatching your actions, honestly, my brain is just like, what? They said this, and how come they're not doing it? I used to be so naive. I used to be so naive. Oh my God, this person said this one thing, but they're doing the other thing. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the one who's misinterpreting it. So I would go through the motions again. Okay, but you said this and you did this. What's the problem? Girl, it took me, girl, get out of that shit. Wake up, girl, they're not gonna change. They're doing a PR branding move on your ass, hoping that you'll stay next to them, knowing that they ain't shit, girl. Get out of there, get out of there. That's my fucking view on it. I think in every relationship, whatever it is, there is always room for improvement. There's always room for both parties to improve. There's always room for better communication. There's, you know what I mean? So I'm not against working towards something greater, but if you're not even in the mood, or you don't even have the capacity or ability to work towards something greater, you're continuing to devalue me, girl, I'm not sticking with your ass. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And honestly, in a lot of these cases, you don't owe anyone an explanation, especially if they've been making you feel uncomfortable for how many motherfucking years. I think to each his own. I think that as you mature and as you get to know who you are, you'll be able to tell which people you want to keep in your life and which people are showing you they care about your best interest versus the ones who just around. You know what I mean? Just to stress you out, just to project their insecurities onto you. I feel like as you mature and as you grow, as I mature, I'll be better able to tell which is which, and I won't be wasting my time on the dumb shit. You see what I'm saying? I won't be wasting my time. I won't be wasting my breath or my energy, because after you've been through certain things, it's just like, girl, if you don't know it by now, if you don't know certain things by now, maybe that's you and that's your journey. But as for me, sis, I'm just on a completely different fucking playing field, and there's nothing wrong with that, because there are people who are obviously more mature than me, and we probably wouldn't be able to mesh on certain things. But as for guarding myself and my progression and my health, I'm going to have to leave you on your journey to being the better person that you are. Maybe I'll match up with friends or get to know other people who are kind of more closely on my path, but I can't regress. And I think that's the main thing when it comes to me cutting people off. I can't regress back from where I came, back to the self-hating ass person that I was. I can't regress back to allowing other people to have so much control over my mind that I was not able to think for myself. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave all that in the back. I'm gonna leave that in the rear view mirror, sis. And if you think that you're gonna come into my life bringing that shit up, activating my anxiety and depression and shit, girl, you got another thing coming. You got another thing coming. And I guess the purpose of me making this video, y'all already know I love to fucking rant before I get to the point. The point is that if you feel like you need to isolate yourself from your family members, don't let, just cause they got fucking the same DNA as your ass, or you know what I mean, just cause they got the same looking ass genes as yours, or blood, or you know, that's your blood. Okay, well if you my blood, then act like it, motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? So don't let the fact that, oh, these people are they're your family, you gotta stick by them. If they're abusing you, girl, move. Leave if you can. I know many people aren't just able to just up and leave their abusers like that, but if you have the capability to, don't let the fact that they're family, or I can't just walk away and leave them like that, girl. Because if you cared about them, if they cared about you like that, they wouldn't be fucking you up in the first place. So that's my message on that shit. Hopefully it makes sense. It ain't nothing to cut that trade off. Have a good goddamn evening. I wish that y'all would just get Beast Boy out of the fucking way. First of all, why is Robin's powerless ass? I hate powerless superheroes. What's the point? Sit y'all asses at the desk like Wade from Kim Possible. Y'all just don't have y'all don't have the range, okay? But Demon, hopefully I blocked this shit, and that's the team. Yes, ma'am! Come on, say some tea. Yes, Joker, you the real joke. You are the real joke, sis.